Hi, ArcFieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday morning, January the 28th. We'll kind of focus in on the northeastern part of the nation during this video discussion. A lot of activity not only over the next day or two, but later on this week there'll be another storm system that will have an impact across the Midwest and into the northeastern part of the nation. Right now we have a strong cold front that is approaching from the north and west, and it's certainly producing some snow shower and embedded snow squall activity, mainly up across upstate Pennsylvania, New York State. Not much activity is likely to make its way into the immediate I-95 corridor region from New York City down to Philadelphia. That is certainly not a guarantee. There can be some snow showers that do make their way all the way into southeastern PA and the New York City metro area, but again, the higher probability extends from east central Pennsylvania and north and east across northeastern PA into southeastern New York. And here, in fact, we can see on the latest radar a few areas of embedded snow squalls right now cutting across central Pennsylvania, northeastern PA experienced a snow squall, and another band, heavier snow moving now right across the New York-Pennsylvania border into northeastern PA. Off to the east, a snow squall moving into the western part of southern New England. And again, these will tend to die out as they try to reach the New York City or Philadelphia metro regions. Virtually no chance south of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. But again, a lot of activity over the next few hours, especially from this initial cold frontal system. And we'll see in a moment that there's a second cold front on Wednesday, and both of these will cause some strong winds, perhaps gusting past 35 or 40 miles per hour today in the Mid-Atlantic, in the northeast U.S., and even more intense, I believe, on Wednesday, gusting up to as high as 50 miles per hour across the northeastern part of the nation. Well, let's start off by looking at a high-resolution model from NOAA called the HRRR. And we're looking here at the precipitation field. All the blues represent snow, and here is the snow shower location right now, early in the morning here. This is from the very latest 12Z run of the HRRR. And most of this activity with this initial frontal system, which can be seen right in this area right here when you're looking at the isobar pattern here. This is where that initial cold front exists right now, early this morning. And most of this precipitation will be during the morning hours. We'll move through on an hourly basis, and we'll see they tend to fall apart over the next couple of hours. The winds will remain, but most of the activity with this initial frontal system will be during the morning hours here on Tuesday. Then we look upstream late today into tonight, and we can see a clipper system right here, 985 millibar low in the northern Great Lakes by early this evening. That will send some steady snow up across New York State and into New England. Certainly can get a couple of inches of snow in this area, New York and New England, by the time we get to early or mid Wednesday morning. And then we have this second cold frontal system right here that tends to trail this clipper system, and that too will have some strong winds associated with it. In fact, I think the winds may end up being more widespread and even higher in intensity on Wednesday, perhaps gusting up to 50 miles per hour or so in some areas of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast U.S., and that's after gusting up to 35 miles per hour today. Certainly can be some more snow showers, even embedded snow squalls during the day on Wednesday. Again, primarily upstate Pennsylvania, New York, New England. Virtually no precipitation expected today or tomorrow south of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, places like D.C. Nothing more than a rain shower or two. But here we are mid-morning on Wednesday, kind of like today. Cold frontal system right here. And again, isolated to scattered snow showers, maybe embedded snow squalls. Again, having trouble making their way into the immediate I-95 corridor region from New York City to Philadelphia. Certainly not impossible. There is that chance here. And then on the heels of that frontal passage here by late tomorrow night, we are in the Great Lakes snow machine effect here, again with these snow bands here. At this time, strong northwesterly flow flowing over the Great Lakes. By the way, Lake Erie is at least about 80% ice covered right now. Doesn't mean you can't have some lake effect snow, because frictional convergence still is a process, even with an ice-covered lake, that can produce some snow squall activity. Basically, the air moves faster over the ice, and then when it reaches the land on the other side of the lake, it could kind of pile up or converge and cause some upward motion. So again, Lake Erie virtually frozen right now. Nonetheless, we will have some snow shower activity, Great Lakes effect here, with that northwesterly flow crossing over the Great Lakes, and here we are into the overnight hours tomorrow night into Thursday morning, and quite a cold air mass will follow. Now, we talked about the winds. Indeed, there will be snow showers and snow squalls to talk about, especially northern Mid-Atlantic, New England today and again on Wednesday. But the winds will be also a factor here. This is a look at the 850 millibar winds here, just about 5,000 feet off the surface from the very latest high-resolution model. Strong. As we begin the day here on Tuesday at that upper level there, 5,000 feet above the surface. And then they tend to weaken later today into the overnight hours, and the strong winds even more impressive here by the time we get to the overnight hours, with that clipper system and that second cold front moving into the mid-Atlantic northeast U.S. Later on tonight into the day on Wednesday. And again, I think these can end up resulting in some 45 or 50 mile per hour wind gusts at the surface during the late night, during the morning hours on Wednesday, associated with that second frontal system. Will go all the way into the midday on Wednesday, and again, some strong winds, certainly a characteristic of these back-to-back cold frontal systems for the northeastern part of the nation. Well, let's wrap up with the GFS model run, taking a continental U.S. viewpoint here. This is from the 0Z conventional version of the GFS, and you can see all these black lines here. These represent lines of equal pressure. The isobar pattern, pretty tight here between an incoming high and a departing low, and that will result in some strong winds today associated with this initial cold frontal system. And then we get the clipper right here in the overnight hours. Again, that could produce a couple of inches of snow, maybe a few inches of snow. New York, New England, and very strong winds on Wednesday. Anytime from late tonight, the wee hours of the morning, through the morning hours on Wednesday. Right here is midday on Wednesday, and you have this low pressure area right here and an incoming high out here over south central Canada. And that pressure gradient is quite tight right in this region right here. And again, we can see wind gusts up to 45 or 50 miles per hour or so. And again, with snow squalls, snow showers, northern Mid-Atlantic, New England, after that period of steadier snow late tonight, early tomorrow, that can produce a few inches up across the northeastern part of the nation. That then moves on by and leaves in its wake cold high pressure for the day on Thursday. Clouds will begin to increase later in the day on Thursday across the Mid-Atlantic northeast U.S. Low pressure starts to take shape here with a warm frontal system kind of extending far to the east here in this fashion right here during the, let's say, the midnight hour on Thursday night going into early Friday morning. And this precipitation area will then push to the north and east. Still will be some stubborn cold air down at the surface level. So even in the suburbs of Philadelphia, there can be some freezing on some surfaces at the onset of this precipitation event. We're talking about 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning early on Friday. New York City, north and west, there can be some snow, sleet, freezing rain again at the onset along this warm frontal boundary zone. Then basically occasional rain during the day on Friday. Temperatures will climb well up into the 40s in Philadelphia and New York City. So even though there may be some frozen precipitation at the onset, it certainly looks like liquid precipitation during the bulk of the day on Friday. That passes on by. Cold weather in its wake to begin the upcoming weekend. And then we'll have to kind of take a look at a possible next clipper system that could have an impact Mid-Atlantic, north and east, and certainly the Great Lakes during the second half of the upcoming weekend into the early part of next week. So a lot of activity going on, not only over the next 48 hours across the northeastern part of the nation with back-to-back strong cold fronts. But another system from the Midwest produces precipitation later on Thursday night into the day on Friday, and perhaps another system across the Great Lakes, northeast U.S. during the second half of the upcoming week. And that's it for now for ArcFieldWeather.com. This has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.